What's going on, everybody? This is Cody, the home theater hobbyist. Sunday, June 21st, 2020 is Father's Day here in the US. And over the past year or so, I've been blessed to test a lot of different products, including products that I really wanted to keep for myself because they are just that good. And so in this video, I'm going to compile a list of home theater gear that I recommend to buy dad for Father's Day. Now, if you are a dad and you kind of want to steer your kids in a certain direction, you can also use this video and use this list to say, hey, just pick something off this list. It'll be good. So let's go ahead and let's get into this video of the recommended Father's Day gifts for 2020. Before we get started, if you decide to purchase anything from this list, use those links in the description below because it helps support the Home Theater Hobbyist channel in that it tells our affiliate partners that you support the Home Theater Hobbyist, so I would really appreciate it. Also, I'll put a link to the relevant review as well so you can get more information. You can watch that video. And if you enjoy product unboxings, reviews, comparisons, you're looking for a home theater basics series, basically all that can be found here. So why don't you click that subscribe button and hit that notification bell so you can be alerted anytime we upload new content. To start off this Father's Day gift list, I'm going to start with the centerpiece of most people's home entertainment system, and that is the television. I'm going to recommend this, the TCL 6 Series television. The thing about the TCL 6 Series, and the latest is the R625, they come in a couple of different sizes, including 55 and 65 inch. The 55 starts at $599, and it is one of the best, let's say, affordable 4K televisions. Not only does it do 4K content, but it also does HDR and HDR10, Dolby Vision, and HLG formats. It also can output Dolby Atmos to a compatible receiver or soundbar. It has low input lag for gamers, and it is a full array local dimming panel with 100 or 120 dimmable zones, depending on if you get the 55 or 65 inch. It has 4 HDMI inputs built in and the Roku TV platform, which means that dad can access all of his favorite apps like ESPN, YouTube, YouTube TV, Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime Video, Apple TV, Disney Plus, basically everything that's on the Roku platform. He can have the app on the front of his television and get to it very quickly. The other good news about the Roku platform is it is just as speedy as it was when I first purchased this TV. A lot of smart TVs, they get a little slow and sluggish as the years progress. This hasn't. It's just as fast, and that is a definite plus. Movies look great because it has that excellent local dimming, and it also has that low input lag for gaming if dad likes to play video games as well. And again, you can get all of this for less than about $600 for the 55 inch. So it is a great buy, and I highly recommend the TCL 6 Series for dad this Father's Day. Now let's talk about disc playback. And I recently reviewed this, the Panasonic UB820. It is a 4K UHD disc player. It supports all major HDR formats, including HDR10, Dolby Vision, HDR10 Plus, and HLG. It also plays standard Blu-ray disc, 3D Blu-ray disc, DVDs, and CDs, but sorry, it does not support DVD audio or SACD. Now, the reason why I pick this player is because it does a great job upscaling old 1080p content and DVD content, but it also does all the major HDR formats. So if dad has an LG, Sony, TCL TV, it does Dolby Vision. But if dad has a Samsung television that does HDR10 Plus, it will also decode that format. So it's just a great all-around player. It costs $499, but you can catch it on sale for like $450 or even $400 sometimes. So why don't you click that link in the description below to find the price and pick it up for dad. Now that we've talked about the disc player itself, let's talk about a couple of discs that you can purchase for dad. I'll start with Ford versus Ferrari. This is my #1 pick. The story is great, the cinematography is great, but the soundtrack is excellent. I mean, it is excellent. If dad has been wanting to use his rear surround channels a little bit more in his surround sound, this will take advantage of it and he will definitely enjoy it. It is a blast. 1917 is also a great movie. It's a little bit graphic in a couple of different places, but it definitely has a great story, a great soundtrack, and it's just an overall good movie if he's into war movies. Now, an honorable mention will go to Bad Boys for Life. I haven't seen that movie myself, but I heard it is actually a really good movie, the third installment of the Bad Boys series, so you can also pick that up for dad. Now I want to talk about a category that's kind of not really home theater related, but is at the same time, and that is gaming, and more specifically, retro gaming. This is the Nintendo Entertainment System Classic Edition, also known as the NES Classic Edition. And Nintendo released this about a year, maybe a year and a half ago or so, and it comes with this little small Nintendo system that actually has a power button and a reset button on the front. It doesn't come with any cartridges. You can't open the cartridge, but it does come with 30 games preloaded on it, and that's all you can play. But it's a pretty cool set of 30 games. It's like Super Mario Brothers, Super Mario Brothers 3, Mega Man 2, and several others are on this console. And the cool thing about it is not only is it small like this, but it actually has HDMI out on the back, so you can connect it to a modern television. You don't have to go through a weird series of adapters, you know, corresponding with like some sort of RF modulator or something, you know, really weird like that. You get a chance to just plug it in and play it. It also comes with one controller like this one right here. It's like the classic Nintendo controller that's square and flat, but the cord itself is actually pretty short. So I find that I actually have to put the console in between my feet and play like that when I'm on the couch. So that is something to think about, and having a longer HDMI cable is definitely what you need for the system. Or you can buy an extension for this. Now I will say I don't think the system is on sale new anymore. I bought this for like 60 bucks, and now I think you can find it on Amazon for like 140. So it has actually appreciated in value, which is kind of interesting for, you know, a console from the 80s, right? But there are a lot of other consoles out there, including Atari. I think that's around 70 bucks. There's a Sega Genesis Mini, which I think is around 70 bucks as well. There's also SNES or Super Nintendo that's out there, and you can't really find that as well. But there are a lot of retro gaming consoles, and I'll put a link to those in the description below so you can go check them out, because this is just fun. You can just kind of have this, and dad can kind of play what he wants to play, and you know, you come over, you can kind of, you know, beat dad in a few things, that kind of thing. So definitely check out the NES Classic Edition or any of the other retro gaming consoles. Now let's talk streaming, because that is all the rage today. Streaming TV and streaming apps. And I recommend the Amazon FireTV Stick 4K. This is a $50 stick from Amazon, and I like it because it supports all the major HDR formats, including HDR10, HDR10 Plus, Dolby Vision, and HLG. It also has audio support for Dolby Atmos, and it does multiple input, multiple output wireless streaming, so it has a very good connection. And of course, it supports all the content library of Amazon, including all of the apps like Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime, Apple TV, Disney Plus, YouTube, YouTube TV, ESPN, CBS All Access. You can catch the Thursday night football games on this Amazon Fire TV Stick 4K. It also comes with this second generation Amazon remote that has a power button and volume up and down buttons, along with a mute button, so you can control the volume on your television or AV receiver with this one remote. And it also has this little button up top that is just a little microphone, so you can push it and you can ask the Amazon assistant, who I'll call the A lady, different questions like what's the weather, or turn to this channel, tune into this app, and all of those things. So it makes it very, very easy. So the Amazon Fire TV Stick 4K is my recommendation because it is $50. But if for some reason dad is not into Amazon, doesn't have an Amazon account, you can always pick up the Roku Streaming Stick Plus. This is around, I think, $40 right now. It might be on sale. And I like it because it has 4K support in the stick, and this is actually a little Wi-Fi or wireless dongle, so you can get a little bit of separation from your TV to give you better performance. But this works really well. The only downside is it doesn't have all the HDR support that the Fire TV Stick has. It supports HDR10, but not HDR10 Plus, Dolby Vision, and I'm not sure if it supports HLG. So I recommend the Fire TV Stick 4K because it is a more complete package. But again, if dad wants something that's not Amazon, you can always go with the Roku Streaming Stick Plus. Now let's talk portable Bluetooth speakers, and I have to recommend this, the treVolo S from BenQ. This is the world's smallest electrostatic speaker, which is these right here. And it is portable because these electrostatic speakers actually fold in like that. It comes with this little travel pouch, so you can put it in this pouch and he can take it wherever he wants to go. But the cool thing is, once you get there, you can open it up like that and it's ready to go, and it looks fantastic. I think this will look perfect in your dad's office. I really like it. It supports not only Bluetooth input, but also USB and 3.5mm. The highs are nice and clear, the mid-range is nice and prominent, and the bass is there. It only plays down to 60 Hertz, so it's not super bass heavy, but it's definitely there. So I recommend this if you're looking for a Bluetooth speaker that looks nice for your father. Now let's talk soundbars, and I recommend the Sonos Beam. This is $399, and it is a 3.0 soundbar, which means it has a center channel, left and right channels. So you'll have your dialogue coming down the center, and you can get a bit of a surround sound effect from the left and right channels. It also has HDMI built in, so you can plug it into your television and it will decode a Dolby Digital signal. It has a microphone built in, so you can do Amazon Alexa and talk to her and do everything you need to do. But it's a part of the Sonos system, which means that you can stream wireless music through it from the Sonos app, which is really cool. So I like the Sonos because this is the gift that keeps on giving for dad. If your dad has already purchased into the Sonos system, you can buy him the Beam and he can add music and television to an extra room, maybe his master bedroom or something like that. And if he has a pair of Play Ones or something like that, all of a sudden he can go with the Beam as his front sound stage, and then he can use the Player Ones as his side surrounds at his seating position or his listening position. So that is really cool. But if dad doesn't have a Sonos yet, you can buy him the Beam or even the Play Ones or something like that, and you can add to it over time. So let's say you buy him the Beam now, and then once his birthday comes around or Christmas, you can buy him a pair of Play Ones, and all of a sudden he's got a 5.0 system, or you can add in a subwoofer and he's got a 3.1 system. You can just kind of add things in over time. They even sell Sonos gift cards, so he can kind of pick out whatever he wants. And that's why I think the Sonos is actually a pretty good Father's Day gift. When I was thinking about speakers for this list, I tried several different speakers over the past year and a half or so, but these were one of the pairs that really kind of stood out in my mind. Not because they're the most expensive, but because they're probably one of the better values for money that you're going to get out there. These are the Acoustics 3030i bookshelf speakers. The 3000i line comes in several different colors, about 4 different colors really, and this is one of them. This is the English Walnut surface finish. I recommend this surface finish or the Arctic White. But the 3030i's feature a 0.9-inch tweeter and a 6.5-inch woofer, which gives you a frequency response from about 46 Hz to 30,000 Hz. They are rear-ported and cost $399. The sound characteristics are just a touch below neutral, just a touch warm, so voices sound nice and natural. The highs are nice and clean, the mids are strong and prominent, and bass can go down to about 40 Hz, so it's got plenty of bass. So if you're looking for a pair of speakers for dad, I'd go for the 3030i's. Now let's talk subwoofers, and I recommend this bad boy, the SVS PB1000. It is $499, and it has a 10-inch front firing driver, and it is ported with this 3.5-inch port right there. And it also has a 300 watt Class D amplifier that can peak up to about 720 watts. The good news is this plays nice and deep. It can play down to about 19 Hertz. So that means you can feel the bass even if you can't hear it. But it doesn't just play deep bass. It also plays bass within music very, very well. So I really like this subwoofer because it's relatively compact. It stands about 19 inches tall, 15 inches wide, and about 20 inches deep or so. And it also has the backing of SVS. And that's one of the things that I think really kind of sets that company apart from a lot of companies, in that they offer a 45-day in-home trial, and you can return the subwoofer without having to pay return shipping. But if you choose to keep it, they also offer a 5-year unconditional warranty, which is a little bit longer than a lot of their competitors. And that's one of the reasons why I like it, because they basically stand behind their products and they sound good. So for that reason, I recommend the SVS PB1000 at $499 as a great gift for dad. My final recommendation for today is for an AV receiver that actually hasn't been released yet. It will be released on June the 20th, but you can go ahead and pre-order it for dad and tell him, hey, it's going to arrive on June 30th. Just be patient. And trust me, this one's worth the wait. It's from Denon's latest line. It is the Denon AVR-X3700H. The H stands for HEOS, which is their multi-room music system, so it can definitely play in there. This particular receiver is a 9.2 channel receiver, which means it can drive up to 9 speakers, so you have a nice Atmos configuration, and 2 subwoofers, so you get good deep bass. It has 7 HDMI inputs and 3 HDMI outputs. Now, one of those inputs and outputs supports 8K 60 pass-through. So if dad has an 8K television or he's planning to get one, your receiver is set up for it. But the rest of them support 4K 120, so they can pass through, a 4K 120 signal onto the television for really good gaming performance. It supports all major HDR formats, including HDR10, HDR10 Plus, Dolby Vision, and HLG. It also supports 3D audio formats, including Dolby Atmos, DTS:X, and IMAX Enhanced. It supports the 3 major voice assistance programs, Amazon Alexa, Google Assistant, and Apple's Siri through AirPlay 2 support. And it has 2 other features that I want to mention here. That is Bluetooth audio out. So if your dad has a pair of Bluetooth headphones, he can put them on and the receiver will actually send the audio to the Bluetooth headphones. I like that. And it also has a preamp mode. So if dad has an external amplifier connected to the AV receiver, he can put it in preamp mode that will shut off the internal amplifiers and give him a much cleaner audio signal to external amplifier. And that's a definite plus and something that's kind of new in the AV industry. The X3700H will be released at the end of the month on June 30th, and it's going to cost $11.99. Now, I know some of you are like, whew, that's a little bit more than I wanted to spend for Father's Day. Well, I do have another recommendation, and that is the Yamaha RX-A780. It is a 7.2 channel receiver, which means it can drive 7 speakers and has 2 subwoofer outputs. It is 4K, it has 5 HDMI inputs and 2 HDMI outputs. It supports HDR10, Dolby Vision, HLG, and BT 2020 HDR formats, and it also supports Dolby Atmos and DTS:X 3D audio. It costs about $650 and it is a great receiver. I really like Yamaha's Avantage line. I've had a couple of Yamaha receivers myself and I didn't have any issues with them, and that's why I recommend it. So there you go. There's 2 receivers for you. The Denon AVR-X3700H at $11.99 or the Yamaha RX-A780 at $650. So there you have it, the Father's Day gift guide for 2020. These are all great products and I'm sure your dad will love them. So please use those links in the description below when you decide to purchase, because they do help support the channel. Also, tell your dad Happy Father's Day from the Home Theater Hobbyist. Now I have to go and buy my dad a gift, so please like, subscribe, and comment. We'll talk to you next time.